Hi and welcome to FLX Pilates. My name is Andrea Metcalf and today we have a 30-minute workout. Now before we begin, let's start with what the reformer looks like. This is called the foot bar, but your hands go on it as well, and this will be our front. We have 5 spring choices. We're going to start on blue spring today, and I'll be giving you spring choices if they change. The last thing you want to check before you begin is that your handles are even. So you'll just pull the string along the side cleat and tighten up the handles. Then move your handles to the side. If you're all set, we're ready to get warmed up. Let's start with hands on the foot bar and knees onto the carriage. We're going to open this up and just push back, feeling how the carriage moves and round forward. Start with a nice deep breath. Inhale, exhale, roll up. Inhale and exhale, roll up. The breath is so important in Pilates. It helps us not only stabilize the spine, but it changes the way that our body functions in memory muscles. 2 more. 1 more. Now let's take a moment to kind of get a little stretch into the body by placing your foot up near the foot bar. Slide the hip back and use that same round and arch that we just warmed up with. Stretch back, chin to chest, chin up, chin to chest. There you go, feel the stretch. Three more. 2. And let's hold that stretch. Now let's curl the toes under and lift that knee up off the carriage. Tapping and lifting the knee, feeling a stretch through the hip, and really extending and starting to feel those muscles warm up. 4 more. 3, 2, and bring it all the way up. Now take your foot to the middle front of the carriage and slide back into a lunge. We're going to do what's called a scooter lunge. So you're bringing the knee in forward, pressing your heel all the way back, allowing that carriage to slide. Keep your chest upright, remember to breathe, and your spine straight. Starting to feel that leg and body get a little warmer, let's add one more element of leaning into the bar and bringing your knee up to the chest. We're reaching up over that bar with our thumbs in front. Try not to hook the thumbs behind the bar. That changes your shoulder and puts pressure on the rotator cuff. Nice simple stretch and round. You can start to feel that core being activated. And another 4 more. And 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring that carriage in and set the knee back down and rotate through the upper body. Stretching to the back and to the side. Feel the stretch as you look all the way behind you, opening up the spine, twisting as you go. 1 more each side. And let's come back to center. Knees at the front of the carriage. This time let's take our palms to the platform. Open the carriage and arch and round the spine. Think of sequencing that spine, pulling the tummy in, rolling chin to chest. Still focusing on that breath. And release. Moving over to the right or the other side, heel up near the foot bar, slide back and round. That same simple arch and round of the spine, just warming up those hips and lower back. For 4 more. And 3. Feel that openness through the shoulder blades, the rounding of the low back. And 1 more. toes under and lift and lower that back leg. Feeling the stretch in our hip, lifting through our shoulders and chest, and pulling the tummy in each time we lift that leg. And 4, 3, 2, and let the carriage come in. Step to the front of the carriage with your toes and push back into that lunge or standing scooter lunge. We're going to do a set of 10 here. So just sliding that leg back, work all the way through the ankle. There you go, starting to feel it. 6, 5, just getting that body warmed up. 2 more. And hold that lunge. Now let's lean over onto those wrists, lift up the knee up towards the elbow. Feeling that contraction of the abdominals, and bringing that C-shaped spine into play. And 4 more. 3, 2, checking to see their thumbs in front of the bar, and 1 more. Nicely done. Now let's walk in with our feet shoulder width apart and hands centered up on the bar. Lift the heels and lower, feeling yourself stretch and pull back. Lifting the heels, stretch and pull back. Feeling the stretch to the hamstrings. And 1 more. Now let's bend those knees towards the elbows and push out to your first plank. Draw the knees back in slowly. Pilates is all about control and keeping that body under tension. Exhale and inhale. Gaze is slightly in front of the reformer with your shoulders over the wrists and thumbs in front of the bar. Or 5. And 4. Keep going. Now we're going to add a little pike to this. So push out to plank, lift up through the hips, and then lower to seated. Push out, plank, hold, lift to pike, and sit. Push, lift, and bend. Feeling those shoulders and arms start to warm up, and working through the core with the legs and lower body. Four to go. And the last one. And have a seat. Now we're going to reach back for those arms and get a little more upper body. Anytime we work arms, if your hands are in the longer loops, you will have it a little easier. Shorter loops make it a little more challenging. So we're going to start with your hips against the shoulder rest, hands in both long straps reaching up overhead. Lift and stretch and feel those shoulders work. Now if the tension is too much, you can always lower to a yellow strap spring, or you can bend the arms, as this series will stay on the same spring throughout. The key is to move slowly, keeping tension in the straps, and not swinging them where the straps get wiggly. Now let's bend those arms at the shoulder and press straight up. Again, if you want to increase the resistance, you can go into the shorter straps, but keep pressing. Now, as you start to build your strength and stability through the core while working on your upper body, you'll want to take a moment to move away from the shoulder rests and scoot forward. Try that challenge now. Great work. Hold those fingers at the top and stretch the arms back, lifting up to the triceps, but really feeling that stabilization happen through the core right under the rib cage. Relax the thighs, lift up and try not to lean forward. Four more. Great job. Now let's lower the arms and take the strap down on one side, reaching back around. Pull to front. So now we're working with that torso, feeling those obliques and core muscles work together. The key here is to not pull at the arms, but make them an extension of the body as you work through the core and turn to the front. Exhaling on the other. Two more. Now to increase and change up the obliques, we're going to start kneeling to the side. From here, we'll all move into short strap and continue with that torso rotation for the obliques. You want to lift tall, keeping your shoulders over your hips, squeezing those glutes as you turn and pulling the tummy in. And now we're going to go back down on all four, moving our knees to the back of the carriage and our hands scooping along the floor to work the chest and bicep. It's as if you're paddling across the water, pushing down below the carriage and up through the chest. The key, of course, is to keep a slow, controlled movement and not bang the reformer, but do the best you can. And let's stop for a little balance work. Hold the hand to heart and lift the opposite leg of the hand in the handle. Hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go back to seated to the front. Long handles make it easier. Short handles will give you more of a challenge. Let's go back to shoulder height and give tree hugs to the front. Now it's important when we work the pecs to not let the hands drift behind the shoulders. So keep the hands where you can see them. Sit nice and tall, and if you're looking for that added challenge, just scoot forward on the reformer away from the shoulder rests to continue the next 8 reps. Now let's take that challenge back up overhead and drop the hands back for another set of tricep lifts for 10 and 9. Really rooting down through your pelvis into the carriage, lifting up through the chest, feeling those abdominals and core muscles working together for 5 more. And 1. Now let's drop the other hand to the side you haven't performed on, and let's reach around with that torso twist. Focusing on more the torso moving than the arms moving from front to back. let's get in 2 more. And now we'll move up to that kneeling position to the other side. Coming up to the front edge, nice and tall. Lifting through those arms, keeping them at shoulder height, and working through the short loop handle. Feeling that waistline twist. And let's get in 1 more big rotation and move back in the middle of the carriage for our scoop. Knees on the back of the carriage, scoop down, reach, and bring that arm through. Again, we're working the chest and bicep, but by being on all 4 with a moving carriage, we're working those obliques and abdominals as well. Are you doing okay? Keep going. We've got 5 more. One more. Nicely done. All right, we're going to leave those handles to the side and bring yourself up to a stance. We're going to step onto the platform and our foot on the outer edge. We're going to start with an easy straddle. Find your balance and let your hips move with the carriage. Both legs are tight and straight, but try not to lock out at the knees. Exhale as you push. Inhale as you come in. The key here is to not lean forward and stick out the butt, but keep everything upright, as if you're in a strapless dress, lifting from the sternum. And 3. Starting to get used to the reformer. 2. And 1. Now, go ahead and hold on to the platform as you step forward with the front foot, and the back foot is heel off. We're going to bend that knee and come down. In fact, we'll try and reach for that big toe, keeping the knee and the hip over the platform, not allowing them to drift to the side. We should feel this in the quads and the glute on the leg at your base is, and feeling that other leg straight, sliding out to the side. Still using that breath, exhale on the effort. And 1 more. Now we're going to take that back foot and point it to a warrior lunge. Leaning in with control. Keeping the knee over the heel as we come down on that back leg. And letting those arms raise up to be able to start with good posture. There you go. We're going to do 2 more, and then we're going to go into a nice isolation. Holding that lunge still, and just extending the lower leg. Pull in the tummy, breathe, and look to your back of the reformer. You got this. And 1 more, and bring it nice and slowly in. Let's step down onto the other side, stepping up onto the platform. Foot is on the black edge of the reformer, starting with essential straddles, out and in, allowing those hips to move with the body and over the springs. You should feel this control coming from the outer thighs, and the inner thighs helping you squeeze and lifting through the chest and pelvic floor. So I'm going to zip up the belly and come back 4 more. Two more. Great job. Let's step the foot forward and 1 foot back with the heel off the carriage. We're going to be bending down into that knee, touching the toe, and coming back upright. Make sure you're standing all the way up, lifting through the chest each time, pushing down into the heel. Rise up, lift. Here we go. Just a few more. You're doing great. 1 more, and we'll start our rear warrior series. Toe points to the back corner. I lunge into that foot. And my right foot is in line with the back platform, parallel to the edge. And I want to make sure I keep that knee and heel in alignment when I move out into the lunge. So try not to get the knee too far over the toes or the heel outside of the knee. This is great for the glutes and inner thighs. Feel that balance and strength. Last 2. And we're going to hold that warrior pose and work on just leg extension. We're straightening and bending the knee. Great work. Bring it in. And we're going to have a seat facing the back. And we're going to be working on these rear muscles. So as we take the handles, we're going to extend those legs, sit up nice and tall, and take the left handle in the right and the right handle in the left. Let your fingers lead you back, working through that upper back and spine. If you need to bend the arms, go ahead. This is great for your upper body posture, and it's important that you push back with those fingers as opposed to pulling with the fist. We've got 5 of these to go. Now, if your handles are not crisscrossed, you're still going to get a good workout on this, just a little less resistance. So don't make a big switch if you miss that crisscross. 1 more. Excellent job. Now we're going to uncross those handles and take our palms down as if we're paddling on a paddleboard. And we're going to first start with just straight arms lifting to the back. And as you feel more comfortable, you'll forward fold and then lift up. Stretching the thighs. Forward, bringing the chest down towards the knees, pausing at the top of those hands, pushing and lifting for 6, and 5, 4, feel the back of your arms get nice and strong, 3, 2, and last one. Great job. Now let's turn back to the front and finish off with some nice hamstring work and core work. For here, we're going to add on a blue and yellow string, just to give us a little more tension. You'll reach back for those handles, hold onto the carriage to slide forward and step into the circle loops. Feet always go in the large loops. We'll start with a just basic leg press to the front, allowing the chest to open wide on the carriage, chin to pull to chest, and feel that there's a nice length from the top of your head to the top of your shoulders. Inhaling, the knees come in, exhaling as you push. When we push, we'll try and push to about a 45-degree angle or just above the foot bar. Draw the belly into the spine and work into those core abdominals, lifting up the head and looking down the body. Now, as we work into the core and start to shift the feet out of the circles, in our hands in, I want you to feel just a few more of how that low back is pressing into the carriage and you're pulling the tummy into the spine. Right there. Now bring your hands into the loops and knees into tabletop. We're going to extend the arms down. And as we do that, curl up the head, neck, and shoulders and extend the legs. Inhale, release. Exhale, push through. Inhale and exhale. There you go. Press that low back into the ground. Pull your rib cage down so there's no arch in the lower back, protecting the lower back. There you go for 4 more. And if you feel any stress in the low back, just lift those legs a little higher. And if you feel your spine arching, lift those legs a little higher. We're going to hold the next one at the top, and we're going to just bend and straighten those arms and legs together. Push it out for 8, and 7, and 6, 5. There you go. The head, neck, and shoulders get tight. Just bring them down. 3, 2, and hold it. Feel that core working, and release. Let's step one more time back into the loops for a little stretch. Allowing the legs to circle and scoop through the middle. If you feel any snap, crackle, popping, or clicking in your hips, please just make the circle smaller. And again, if you feel your low back arching, lift the legs a little higher. 3 more. 2. And now reverse directions for 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's flex those feet and gently pull down on the straps to stretch the hamstrings. Press your booty down into the carriage and release. And press and release. And press and slide your feet out. Go ahead and hook one toe under the